There is a moment in almost every session, it's usually about 10 minutes in, where I watch someone decide whether they're actually going to do this. It's not happening at the booking, and it's not when they walk through the front door and actually just show up. That actual moment is standing in front of the light when they decide to stop holding their breath. The moment is the whole reason that this work matters to me, and that's what this video is about. Nobody walks in and starts posing. That's not how any of this photo session type of thing works. And honestly, if it did, the photos would be literally terrible. Before I even pick up the camera, we're just talking. The music's already on. It's doing some of the work to like set the mood for what we're trying to accomplish in this photo session. The lights are set to a certain things. There's all these little touches that I make sure are totally perfect to help people get into the right mindset for actually taking these pictures. Most people walk through that door and they're a little bit nervous. Like I'd say 99.9. Okay, like everybody is a little bit nervous. I can see it in their body language. Their shoulders are kind of tight. They're like maybe laughing a little bit too much or talking a little bit fast. And that's totally normal. I've seen it a million times, and I'm not interested in talking anybody out of those type of feelings. But I'm just waiting for the vibe to loosen up a little bit on its own because it always does. Here's what people don't really talk about and what doesn't show up in marketing photos. Somewhere early on, there's a moment where it gets really hard in the photo session. And it's not physically hard, but it's kind of this discomfort of being looked at fully on purpose and not trying to hide behind anything. And in my case, not even trying to hide behind a lot of clothes because we're doing a boudoir session. A lot of people almost bolt right there. I've had clients ask for like a break, 2 minutes in just to breathe, and that's fine. Sometimes I work it in myself because I get a vibe of what they're feeling. It's expected. And I'd be more worried if it didn't happen. The camera isn't doing that hard part. Being still is. Standing there and letting yourself be seen exactly as you are. No filter, no angle you're used to controlling, no phone screen between you and the moment. And most of us go years without doing that on purpose. And then after that moment kind of comes, almost every time something shifts. And it's not sudden, it's more like an air pressure change. The shoulders drop, the laugh gets real instead of nervous. People start feeling all tight and sucking it in and start actually breathing. And that's when the images that we're creating turn from fine into the ones that make someone stop scrolling on their own camera roll a week later. I don't direct very much in this part. I've learned that the less I say, the better it gets. My job at this point is mostly just staying quiet, watching the light, pressing the shutter, holding space for this little transformational shift so that someone is able to forget that I'm even in the room. And the reaction at the reveal part of the photo session, after all the photos are taken and we're reviewing everything, is the part I never get tired of. People expect to feel embarrassed looking at these pictures, but they do not. What happens is actually a lot quieter and stiller and more peaceful and really, really beautiful. Sometimes people cry a little bit, and not because they're sad or anything, but it's almost like a recognition of what they did and what they accomplished and what they're looking at in front of their face. They're looking at that version of themselves that they knew was inside for a long time, but they haven't seen it in forever and ever. And that reaction is exactly why I do this work. The photos are proof that it happened, but that reaction is that moment when people go through it and they're like, dang, okay, that's me. That's what I'm about. I always push clients towards printing something. And it's not because it's an upsell, but it's because the file sitting on a phone gets buried by next week's 500 other pictures. A print doesn't. An album on a shelf doesn't. A piece of canvas on the wall does not. And you need those reminders. They don't get scrolled past, they don't get ignored. They actually get looked at on a regular basis. And you can go back to those feelings of, wow, this is exactly who I am and this is what I've accomplished. If all of this sounds like something you've been circling around for a while, my inbox is always open. I love to have conversations. Even today, I was online with somebody that doesn't even live in Texas, but I feel so passionately about this work that I'd rather have somebody go into somebody close to them or jump on an airplane and actually go through this transformational photo session experience. Because when you come out the other side, everything shifted inside of you. And that's why I see people coming back time and time again, because they know something happened and they want to be able to go back to those feelings and explore new things all the time. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you on the next video.